I think, sir, DSC, I'm not sure, sir, will be a surprise. Because under the leadership of President Akufo-Addo, both as a leader of Ghana and as a leader of the political party, one thing very common and obvious, intellectualism was sacrificed for idiocy.
Oh,
yes, it's as simple as that. And this over her party, when Akufo-Addo became president, the a bit known intellectuals were suppressed, and some quote unquote idiots rose to prominence. That was what was happening. So because the entire government was made to look like a snake pit. Hey. Wow, yes. Everybody was fighting for attention. Said the mother snake and I'm crying good bonum. So while betting you struggle about top, then you catch the eye of the mother serpent. And that's exactly what was happening. And at that place time, now there was no recognition for merit, intellectualism, those kind of stuff. Because me a president. Not listening to Kyei I've listened to him a couple of times. Said me wa me party na Kyei Agyapong si wa free ma meko ne fia kopa ne chaw and bring him back. Obi to say Alan. Okase o free party ma, I will do whatever it takes to bring the gentleman back to my party. As a leader, that is what we do. But this is a man who was so full of himself. So to the point that he even went to the constituencies and he was even attacking them. So another day, under the MPP, who were the prominent individuals? Abronye ya okasei, Kennedy Agyapong Napo baby, your friend say, "Won't to me jina baby," and a move your manwa, verbal diarrhea, and some young country nipa. That is what they were saying. You understand? So nearmano rane ya koya and a baby diarrhea. Say diarrhea no what the fat waha that way there and a that is exactly what was happening. In some young country nipa and a no more can. So Ghana and me Ghana for man share Ghana for abufuo yakoto aba ne de asini na ukoto aba na we lose we suffer a humiliating defeat in the history of this country being see that. Thank you Ben awoko thank you man for you go on a reconciliatory your friends at all, and you don't do it in camera because when you know say woko no a man for bubefu a man for that can somebody ni say ya can. So why do you carry camera and you capture everything? So I just a poor thinking the same poor thinking is at play here, because common sense will tell you say nyansa party beko grounds to meet people so bian kanasem never time camera media for the just video now they were Jimmy. Oh yes, why will you carry camera? Because a one some na yet can and we see some way go so moke can. And na Kennedy Agyapong so you hear near won't you in Canada 7 no and nipa will up president edi or mine will be this about 80% here for and yes for my and if this is the mindset you have, say poor people cannot talk to you because of democracy, poor people over here president,
but is that out of control?
No, it's nada nipa no nimna and anke different. That is how he is, and he has been making such comments all over the years. Feel the title, I have buildings, I have cars, I have this. Me say those things, yemfa nye democracy, yemfa more mind, kwatina baby, na fa your business. That one, but when you are in power, even the poorest person in Ghana have the power to question you. It doesn't matter when I own Bugatti, now Bugatti ada uchino uno bi nepi. And I will not video bia. You can't do that. You understand? You need to respect people. But for me in the AC, and your poor decisions no muteki here na now this is a political party. Was suffered the most humiliating defeat in the history of this country. One of the biggest media houses in this country, Media General. At this time, no more country say, "Ya boycott na we nim nyansa we ade we." At this time, no Media General na mo no find he obi.
I see.
And as some makers what you say, let us do logical analysis. Media General and MPP when he will be. Because you are in opposition, you need media. Because in the modern politics about communication, communication is about platforms. So even enemy platforms, you have to patch and build a relationship. Because Media General is not just about Bawumia. How many media houses in more? Big TV stations and today you have the numbers more than any media station in Ghana. You have the numbers. So why would any sensible political party or opposition or try to build up or pick a fight with the media house? What you do is that you come to Unia and TV3. Nema where na where moye you just jaw and then at the end of the day you come back. But arrogance, and I that kind of silly mentality, that is what is driving them to do some of these things. And the Omeko press conference, media general now most of them they will carry their modern saying microphone some my boycott here we will carry your news na kwabrane atena so abọ microphone na to atwene say omo pede en wa ha na we nyansa ni abaya de we o say some na make no so the other don't be surprised, that is who they are. And I'm conscious that we a political party now who lose power. All that you do, they say you claw back. You do self-introspection. Not near it go wrong.
But I think Dr. Bawumia is also confessing and confirming.
Okay.
Yes. Arrogance of power.
Yes.
And what have you?
Yes.
3 days to election. Now to 2
Yes.
Ghana for home $58 million. Somebody have got to National Cathedral and no crane Tukru.
Yes.
All those ones came to play, and Dr. Bawumia is making a confession out of all this.
He is not serious. He is not serious. Bawumia I'm build the cathedral, not to Togo and not to China.
No, Ghana.
So what did he say at the time? Abraham would $58 million AC cathedral. Now, as a vice president, I wouldn't win car. What was his position? A number of silly decisions were being taken in this country. We were all over criticizing. 11 in a forum. Where was he? What is he talking about? You see, these are coward tactics. I all try to exonerate himself, but you see, Bawumia can never disentangle himself from what is happening. He was part of the establishment. He was part of the decision makers. He was sitting in cabinet. Anything that Akufo-Addo did, he was part of it. So if he has anything to do, he has to go and apologize to the people. Say, we wrong you. We are here to apologize to you. That is the only way. But you cannot shift blame and blame anybody. Because establishment now, so you can't two people no more part of the establishment. Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. So you cannot run away. And Jebi, and some year better than say. Sometimes when we sit here, the things that we see, the very moment they are met to say, I see appointing Napo as running mate. I say, Nanko more border man as we do more quadruso. Because JB, it's not as if you don't know this person. Who on his right senses, and a better say, having watched Napo in the political journey up to now, will contemplate, say, young far branch away and a running mate. That was why the last time I was questioning you, say, Council of State, make that decision. Because I wonder why a grown man, I will follow politics, will come to a. But I'm shocked. Like any. No, I'm surprised a grown man and a reasonable group of old people will sit down and say, Abrante way should be a running mate. It means they never respected the people of this country. And that reflected in the elections. The outcome, and post-elections way, every conversation, discussion be of course be pointed to that fact. Now no me say Abrante be a comedy. Or you should not put as a forum. You see, if these people standing afar, away from the political stage, could see these things there, Bawumia Cobra no nya post no or nya vote no 20. Now I can say Mune at 15 and 20. So MPP for a vote no off shitibu. The most important day in the gentleman's political career is when they did him the honor and appointed him there and they are running mate. Ye kubobja e Kumasi o tun for the microphone wa kasa ye bibia wie. Among the microphone is saying no. Or ti vote 1 million to go here. That statement alone at 1 million vote to go here. No. But I guess we are political institution now who value to wisdom. Among for counsel, you take criticisms in good faith. Now, try to build yourself. I'm not sure some of these things you do. You listen to the people. Oh, I didn't know Nipa do I can't same way because Nipa na will buy the vice president. Uncle China for vice president. And I wouldn't be there. So if the people say they don't want him, what is your problem? You see, let me send a message to Ghanaians. See, democracy in politics and the key thing at the center of all these things are the people. So whichever role and endeavor you find yourself. If the people you're serving say you're in power, don't force yourself. And this message also go to the Chief Justice. Don't force yourself. Obey Yababe go and mercy. Because at this point in time, your services are no longer needed. So why will you force yourself? In other dispensation where they've not even called them to resign, they resign. In the last 4 years, in Oko Yuka Prime Minister, there was no man resigning. It wasn't a public debate, but based on self-defense and introspection no one can say now I had a kind of respect I exist between the people now they'll go away. My can't say in governance no the only relationship that exists between those in power and the people no should be intellectual kinship and mutual respect. Me whom me mobile pity be any baby. So when these things exist and we are near man man for can you back down but and since some no mugu so mo confess no I met you for camera no mo fancy akire e bia na onwani ma mo so a cuz we don't do these things and send cameras all along.
I see.
For what end? At the end of the day everything you say and nipa no mudi animu mo kono so verbal diarrhea for no sense so mo di akire and since some no can no mbeka e bi ni so obi say ya first ahia for nyina nya opportunity he kasa no but me say governance no and that this time ya dey adwen ni nyansa and sika because when we are the richest person in Ghana you cannot feed everybody in this town.
Yes,
oba akra ha ya ho nipa ahia no pa wo Ghana ha na enro odidi e ene odidi nya wona feed no so you need to respect people, you understand that and wunya power just use it and make a positive impact in the obetimi aye say be nipa betra say kasa abrante we buy why do we sit here and celebrate Kwame Nkrumah otoka ma but why do you mention his name? Because of the legacy, it transcended beyond generation. People talk about him. So when your political power, the last time I catch you, either you or make you or make you. You can use it to defame yourself. I go for Adobama catch na man for free say or your way all the corner. Na a mania number bono. Because of power, no yeah, no, it's a mono de be Kwame Nkrumah, he was nobody. By the time he was exiting, he was a hero. So that is what you need to recognize. Now, who's a power. They are transcendent. We are men fighting and those in power today. When your power, don't think that you'll be there forever. Because Rollins already 21 years. Or no, he enjoyed absolute power. Rollins is a former trainer. At a mouse, and to win your power, make sure say the most important thing I want to be here is to impact on people. That arrogant, that kind of attitude, you know.
Right.
We are then you exert power. The impact I'll be making will be the subject I'm for discussing.
Medasi, say you see them to Medasi. Medasi. Hey, Ivan. Lucius, that's not okay, baby.
Me, you're not person make say. When you say not all can,
Napo Dieno.
Napo Dieno. I had Napo Dieno, Doctor, yes. Now, person me say, Bawumia says, in some man all can now per se what you say, buy Lucy Padine.
Then.
The time sympathize. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it different from sympathy?
And I say it depends on where you stand.
Okay. I said
I say or a penny or fee. Now so ben fanning your fee. What I say? Intino, and I make a choice say, I na be mo
sympathy.
Yes,
if I didn't you, that's in Badge.
Oh, what I sent you, mechanics are so in company. I will fear I send company, then finding your feet. Say, buy the simple dance. I'm not a person. And some more can you say, you live your bed buyer, ye of friends and betting tax, I bet the buyer, and electricity a year tariff about 3 months to. Hey, not 3 days.
3 days to elections.
Yes, to elections. I'm as a chairman of the economic management team. No, na onim ho hwe bamfana anya hwe ni betutu mu. Enti no opese o che say bamfana anya hwe wa mamu nu mu. O cha enti a me ka say to na be ko no bentwa so because in sama ebe piepie no ahu. Enya nsem ketwa he nipa mi ensane akasa yi. Vice President de kranka yenim mu sei. What you say? Dr. Bawumia said me kan. Enka yenim no sa enso ne onso ye bi. Ne Abronye abekasa Kennedy Agyapong abekasa. Almighty Napo nkasa e. Chema wuntumi enkasa e.
Napo to be very surprised, to be very honest with you. Napo kwa camera ni nechi. Pictures
yeah, that should be the case because we have reconciliation. What should you carry camera along?
All the chairman.
Oh yes, how I had
there. Yeah, wafa camera ni nechi.
Yeah.
You entino kwan better kwan wase dey a ewi aboboa no. Nti se wo kwe wonya wi. So baby, what you say? Nti me e kamenko a enka bentwa so. Because in some shaman fobo, nibe pers a bit more person take advantage of the tour to do some kind of emotional decongestion. What you say, and emotional that is decongestion, but that is not the right platform. I said, yes, I
see.
What you say, be better so a better.
Very well. Comments,